I think I haven't got a lot of detail on this one yet, but it's I think they've trialled it across the first two events this year, and it's something there. A lot of major sports now are going to trying to look at if they can go direct to their audiences with a streaming offer.
Okay. All right, well, so staying in this space, online video service Quickflix has sealed a deal with HBO that will give it digital rights to programs like Game of Thrones. But will this be enough to attract subscribers and compete against the likes of Foxtel, which is introducing contract-free IPTV services Foxtel Play coming up in June? Well, to tell us more, we're joined now by Stephen Langsford, the Chairman and CEO of Quickflix. Great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. Well, just firstly, tell us about this new deal with HBO and the kind of window that you're going to have for new programming.
Terrific. So, yeah, we're delighted to have secured this deal with HBO. Quickflix, of course, is a streaming company. We also deliver movies through our online DVD rental service. The new deal is actually a new way of delivering this great content. So you'll be able to stream it or download it on a stream or download to own basis. So it means that you'll be able to stream and own an episode or a whole season of some of the great series that HBO makes available, and that will be to both Quickflix and Quickflix subscribers and non-subscribers alike. So it's a first, in Australia insofar as non-iTunes devices. So if you like, the relative comparison is iTunes, we're non-Apple iTunes distribution model, if you like.
Are you looking to make other sort of deals with major content makers like this?
Clearly in Australia there's a huge appetite for some of this great TV product from HBO, from other international providers. The reality is there's more great content out there than there have been channels to access that content. So yes, we'd love to. And we also know, based on the success of Netflix in its local market, that their appetite for episodic TV is huge. So yes, we'd love to cut more TV deals, service the demand. The reality is it's less about a competitive offering to Foxtel. It's more about a competitive offering to everything that's currently being pirated in Australia, unfortunately. So we know that piracy is high in the Aussie market. There will be always those people that are pirating because they're anarchists and don't want to pay regardless of the price or how easy it is to access it. I suspect that there's a large rump of current people pirating who complain that they just aren't able to access it easily enough. Well, we're trying to address that problem with making our platform and all the devices over which we stream to those consumers.
Well, just on that, because I think Game of Thrones, I read a news report saying it was the first episode of the new season was illegally pirated more than 1 million times. So just in terms of that, I mean, what's your pricing going to be like, and how will that sort of compare to, you know, what it would cost, say, on an Apple iTunes or a Foxtel subscription? Yeah,
so we're not yet live. We'll go live over the coming weeks, and we'll obviously announce details of our pricing at that point. But it'll be competitive with the iTunes offering. Clearly, it's sought out after content, so it'll be a premium price, but an affordable price, and I think there should be plenty of demand out there.
Does this sort of indicate how your business is changing? I mean, I think it's virtually a DVD by mail business. Is most of the business now becoming streaming?
Yes. So the reason we didn't call ourselves, quick DVDs is that we always saw ourselves this digital future, and it was all about how do you get to that future. There have been plenty of companies that have run too hard, too early. They weren't in the game. So, yes, over the last 18 months, we've fundamentally transformed our business, invested significantly in our digital distribution. That means that we've got our app on lots of devices. That's smart TVs. It's of Samsung, Panasonic, Sony, LG, about to go live over the coming weeks. Game consoles of Xbox and PlayStation 3. Many of the tablets and desktop devices. Recently we announced that we went live with our Windows 8 app. So we've got massive potential distribution now, and it's how we monetise that, and clearly by making more content available and get it into the hands of customers is what we're all about.
And how tough is it? Because it seems like there's so much competition, and now, you know, not just with, you know, the likes of the free-to-air broadcasters with their catch-up services, but streaming coming from lots of different sources, and then, you know, Foxtel coming through with Foxtel Play in a few months, and this non-contract type deal for people. Well, I mean, how will you compete against all of that?
Well, I think the good news is it's a big market. You know, DVD is a $1.5 billion market, and the DVD market's still relatively healthy. So, you know, we've got a big foot in the DVD camp, and we expect to continue to grow. Possibly, we'll be the last man standing in a winner-takes-all market, because we know that, you know, video stores are disappearing, high cost of rent, the same sort of phenomena that are happening for, you know, other retail, physical retail stores. So, you know, every day our choice just gets better, and so we see a bright future actually for DVD for ourselves. That helps kind of slingshot us, if you like, into the streaming world. Yes, I expect that there will be competitors in our space. I think, as I said, that it's a big market. We've got ourselves to a good position because we've rolled out our service across these devices. And now our job is about optimising that, improving the user experience, getting more content to customers. So hopefully we're a player in the market alongside other players, and if we can all take market share away from those people who are currently pirating, then it's a good result all round for the content owners, for aggregators like Quickflix, and ultimately for the customer.
You secured some capital investment, I think, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and you sort of indicated that would be used to develop the streaming business and sort of ramp up. How's that been going? So
last year we brought on Time Warner HBO as an investor, in fact, in Quickflix. They invested $10 million. A lot of those funds actually went to the digital rollout. Now, thankfully, because we've invested and we've got that core technology capability, the next device that we roll out to is a relatively straightforward affair. We attracted some more equity investment recently from a global institutional investor. That is more
Creed, was it?
Creed Capital,
Creed.
And that's more about assisting us in our growth activities. You know, we're a startup player, high growth, capital intensive to date insofar as our investment rollout goes. We're now over 100,000 subscribers, run rate revenues, and you know, we think there's a huge opportunity here to go for in the Aussie market.
2012 was a pretty tough year. I mean, there were job cuts. Now that you've got these partners, I mean, are you seeking further partners, or is that sort of enough?
Yeah, last year was a tough year. We had high growth. We probably ran a little ahead of ourselves. Towards the end of last year, we went through some restructuring. We took out costs from the business. Frankly, we overextended ourselves. So we've sort of, paired righted the ship back into innovation, cutting deals, and absolutely we're open for business, doing more partnership deals. So delighted that you're seeing our app on the new breed of smart TVs, and you'll see more content deals being announced in due course.
It's interesting there that the sort of smart TV take-up seems to be increasing, doesn't it? Are you getting any other tech feedback on the devices that you're streaming to?
Yes, so I mean, clearly mobile is massive, and we've seen that increase over twofold over the last 12 months. So this idea of mobility, the idea that through a service like Quickflix, you can be watching 3 movies at the same time over different devices. So something for you, and and for myself, all off Quickflix under the one affordable subscription. So smart TVs, I think within 5 years, I think the forecasts are that it'll achieve 100% penetration. So it's a massive wave to ride. And the reality is, streaming is really early here in the Aussie market for the mainstream consumer. It's a new term that people are getting their heads around to understand fully how it works. In the US, everybody talks streaming, grandmothers talk streaming. I think that's the opportunity here.
Just finally and quickly, obviously the NBN, I guess, is crucial for your business. What do you think? I mean, the polls seem to be indicating we're going to see a coalition government come September 14. We've seen their broadband policy released. It's going to be cheaper, they say, but not as fast. What does that mean for you?
Under either alternatives, you know, Quickflix is a winner under the sort of broadband speeds that they're talking about. In fact, 70% of Australian households today, which are mostly people in capital cities, can happily stream Quickflix. So NBN for us in the near term actually means getting out to rural regional Australia. Folks who we can service today through our DVD by mail service happily, which is sort of better than driving down to the video store perhaps. But NBN will get us to the rural regional, and of course in capital cities it's only going to improve. So we can stream standard definition, high definition happily today in capital cities. NBN means that one day we'll be streaming, you know, 3D movies. So that's exciting.
All right, it's been great to have you in. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Cheers.
Stephen Langsford there from Quickflix. Coming up on Media Week, 10 secures exclusive negotiations with Cricket Australia for the upcoming rights. We find out how significant this could be after the break.